Welcome back to Interview with the Vampire. This is the episode I've been most excited for, finding out what the hell happened during that first interview. What are these weird flashbacks? I am so pumped. Don't be afraid, just start the tape.
Needed from the other, our proper role.
I love starting an episode with Armand.
Laid our backs on long tables and stared up at the ceiling.
Hot.
Iron pillars holding terracotta domes.
Stops being I or me.
And that indicates what?
What does it indicate?
You're getting close to something you want distance from.
And the vampire of Louis' age is fighting the narcoleptic pull of the sun.
Or that.
Armand rarely eats. So when he does, he prefers to hunt for it.
Doesn't.
His methodology, it's never violent, I assure you.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
A little dirty, a little deceitful, but it's enterprising.
No, come on, let's just stay with this.
The coffin!
In high school, you told
Let's
me
change it up. How often has Armand spared a life?
Yeah, that part's not adding up to me as well. Why would he save Malloy? That makes no sense.
Armand preserves my happiness, even when I don't or
No,
can't.
I do not believe that at all.
Did we...
That playful little smile.
Climb in it, close the lid, and bang.
Seems like it would be very difficult.
So am I the first guy that you brought back here?
Yeah, no. Oh,
Chicken chow mein, take your pick.
well, I'll have a little bit of everything.
Maybe I could cheer you up.
It looks like Malloy was down.
No.
Drats.
I'm a vampire.
I'm really interested to know why you believe that.
Didn't take long for him to reveal that.
Are you the Zodiac Killer?
I mean, I guess he could be.
No journalism, per se.
You were terrified of me, Daniel.
You were lonely, Louis.
It was
Both are true.
to tell you
For me. I want to know for me.
Oh, that felt very genuine, very real.
a man made of dried twigs with a thin, carping voice. Nothing. No one home. Like an automaton.
And we have since learned that this isn't really how Louis feels, or isn't anymore how he feels.
Because the next thing that happened was you detonated.
It's about her. I figured she...
What?
Well, I could see where this is going.
He's got some balls. He knows he's talking to a vampire.
I could be your Lestat, your Claudia, but better. I mean, I got a
Wow.
little bit of both of them.
Really ballsy.
Plus a few things. I mean, you don't understand the meaning of your own story.
Not sure that killing me was a totally warranted response.
Maybe a bit of an overreaction, but I was being stupid.
I have a surprise for you. Kind of a curveball, which...
But why? Why?
What?
What?
I lost time. You are so boring!
Here come the drums.
Colorless!
I mean, I would agree with Louis here.
Dull.
To the heart and off.
Dull, boring.
Oh, it's so hard to be me.
Picking lint
It's so
off
hard
the
to
sofa?
kill humans.
Picking lint off the sofa?
My daddy vampire grew me into a little bitch.
Damn.
She didn't love you. Not like he did. Not like I have.
I don't think that's true. Yes, maybe not in the same way, but I think she definitely loved him.
Second door slams. Metal door.
He go outside?
On calls your name.
He tried to kill himself.
I knew who I was without those pieces.
Wait.
Why?
Sidestep the big...
Why don't either of them remember this? I do not buy the explanation of like, oh, it was the drugs. Like, no.
The boy. The fascinating boy.
Whoa.
Fine, we're all fine.
You two kept me in that apartment for how long?
It's a creepy effect with the eyes.
Walking out of the bedroom, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
He ejects the tape.
I'm loving how they're like completing each other's memory for them. Like together they're figuring it out.
Presses play.
Yeah.
This music is really unnerving, too.
We didn't even have sex. 128 boys he's brought here.
128?
You're the first he didn't consummate and drain. You think in all these fools you'd arrived at some ineffable truth?
Why is he so unbearably cruel, dude? Like, I can't stand this guy.
Yes. If she had a paper bag over her head, she agreed, and you did it even as she cried. A splinter
That's kind of fucked up.
in you. Is that what makes you fascinating? Transgressions are ordinary, Louis.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It was fascinating. Charlie, where's my blood?
Do you find me boring?
I do. What are you gonna do about it?
I was in Zelezhnegorsk to interview an operative for the KGB.
I mean, if I thought I hated Armand before, it's just growing at this point.
No point. Other than fuck your boyfriend.
Yeah.
An imprecise emotion.
I'm still burning. Armand, put me in the coffin.
He's being as equally cruel to both of them.
Did I catch you in a fantasy where the boy somehow fumbles his way to publication, reads your nasty embellishments, and comes chasing after you again?
Maybe I'm onto something.
Prison of empathy. I've locked you away in.
For one, don't believe that. Two, this is clearly not a prison of empathy, you cruel bastard.
Start.
No.
Where it is.
Why the hell would you do that, dude?
Why are you ill? What's happened to you?
Is this show gonna make me like Lestat? I really don't want them to. I'm still very upset with him and all his manipulation tactics as well.
I love you, Lou. Will I be on suicide watch for the next 1,000 years?
You deserve no less.
Or am I a reminder of the worst of it?
Atonement for Paris? What did you do?
Will I get the fixes I need to be somebody? But Daniel, you already know who you'll be. A genteel drinking problem like your father. Your wife counting down your thrusts.
I fucking hate this man. I thought Lestat was manipulative and toxic. This is like a whole other level, dude.
Rest. Come.
He fought that pretty hard. A lot more than the other people from the theater did.
But I need this one to live. It's a testament to our companionship.
So it wasn't you, it was Louis who saved him. That makes more sense. Is there some genuine, like, romantic love between these two? I could see it easily not being
Daniel?
that, but it almost feels like there is.
Like a song stuck in your brain. These words will hold you up and carry you. And he was already all burnt up. Figured I'd conflated the two events.
So that's what Louis was saying
But I
to you
didn't.
right there.
I was never so lost I couldn't hold down a job.
I think
That's actually hitting me a little bit.
gave you more drugs,
Didn't expect that.
distorted it all in your mind. I was disfigured. I was in pain.
But you
No.
remember right up until when you bit me. And I remember right up until when you bit me.
Armand did the same thing to you, Louis.
How was your lunch?
Entertaining.
He asked why you saved him in 1973.
I could see you were partial to him. I preserve your happiness even when you don't or can't.
You slimy little shit. Oh my... Oh, I hate him, dude. I hate him so much. All right. That was by far my favorite episode of the season so far. Let's discuss. So, all of my dislike for the character Armand I feel so vindicated right now. I feel very vindicated. Again, I thought Lestat was manipulative. I thought he was, toxic and cruel and this and that, but he's got nothing on Armand. One thing I'll give Armand is the things that Louis said to him did seem genuinely cruel, and I can understand some genuine anger coming from that. But to torture the both of them, it was a little unexpected. I didn't think his cruelty would extend to Louis to that extent. And it makes so much more sense that Louis is the one who saved him, not Armand. Because everything leading up to this moment doesn't indicate in the slightest that Armand would save really anyone. Because he is such a hateful, spiteful person, despite this sort of visage of kindness and empathy, is what he said. You know, I've trapped you in a prison of empathy, but that was anything but. Sadistic is much more how I would describe Armand. I love how throughout the episode, everything was fragmented and only started coming together as Louis and Malloy were like remembering it together, each of them filling in the pieces for the other one to keep it going. Like the flow and the pacing of this episode was really, really fantastic. And even though they kind of skirted around directly answering it, I did feel like a genuine romantic tension between Daniel and Louis, even a little bit in the present day as they're figuring it out together. I mean, Malloy straight up tells him, you know, I fucked up 2 marriages, 2 kids, but I was never so lost that I couldn't hold down a job, essentially because of what you told me. Like, the words you told me got me through all this. It was a surprisingly beautiful and tragic moment that neither of them even remembered that was the case. And I can't really tell if Armand decided to start torturing Malloy simply out of spite against Louis and the things he said about him, or if it was because Louis was incapacitated and he knew he'd have no way of stopping him. Like, based off of everything I've seen, I don't think Louis could really put up a fight against Armand with all of the abilities that he has, but it almost feels like Armand was only brave enough to do something like this when Louis was too weak to do anything about it. I'm not sure. It could just be a simple matter of Armand wanted to hurt the both of them, and he saw a great opportunity to do it. I mean, in terms of being a vampire, him toying with this human who could potentially expose their existence and killing him to silence him, I could almost get behind that. I'd be like, you know what? Based off of the rules that you vampires apparently have, and the things that Louis said to you, and Malloy kind of just being a smarmy little shit, I could almost understand him doing those things. But the thing that really tipped it over the edge for me, that made me realize, no, Armand is just a cruel, spiteful person who seemingly gets off on this kind of stuff, was when he contacted Lestat and was putting Louis through some extreme torment and manipulation as a result. Like, that, I think, was extremely sadistic of Armand to do that. And of course, right at the very end, when they both kind of give him an opportunity to come clean about it, because I'm sure Armand knows that they were at least starting to figure it out. They plainly said, you know, we're reminiscing about San Francisco. Why'd you save him again? He still doubled down and just said the same exact hypno-babble bullshit that he fed Louis in the first place. God, I hate him. I hate him, dude. But I'm so glad that I now know the truth. I know what happened there. And it was not a disappointing answer. It was very revealing on many levels, and very interesting to see just how spiteful and hateful Louis was when remembering Lestat compared to now, where he seems to have come to a slightly more level-headed response to the whole thing. Still definitely skewed against Lestat, but much less so than he was then. Back then, he had nothing but spite for the guy. I probably shouldn't say that. It does seem like he's still hung up on him to a degree. But despite getting so many answers in this episode, there was one glaring question that they brought up in there. Armand says, have I not atoned for what I did in Paris? What the hell did Armand do? Is he the reason Claudia is no longer here with us? Again, I don't remember a whole lot from the movie, and I've never read the book, so I actually don't know. But that was a very curious thing to say. Like, what did he do that was so bad that he would still be needing to atone for? I don't know, but I sure as hell can't wait to find out. And that gives this episode a 9 out of 10. By far my favorite episode of this season, maybe my favorite episode of the show that I've seen. I really, really liked this one. No issues with pacing, and for that to be the case during a flashback episode is high praise from me. Really good revelations. I feel super vindicated about my hate against Armand because, oh my god, I want to see that man die. Really interesting exploration of both Louis, a character, and Malloy. Absolutely loved it. The only thing I could really fault it on was maybe some slightly uninspired production. I felt like the costumes and the sets were good. Like, there's nothing I can really say super bad about them, just nothing, truly inspiring about them. They just felt suitable for what we were doing here. And all that being said, oh my lord, I am excited for this second half of the season. Everyone's been saying the second half is really, really good, and so far the start of the second half has been my favorite part of the show, so I cannot wait to find out what happens in Paris. I'm also absolutely terrified because I know Claudia does not survive this story, and I don't imagine she's going to survive the season. Maybe she will. I don't know exactly what they're doing with the timeline of this all. And if she gets the same death that she got in the movie, which I do remember, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it, but at the same time, I am so excited to see the rest of the season. That was a really fantastic episode. So I will see you all on that next one, and that's about it.